Hey everyone, welcome to Small Talk Sundays, where I just do some small talk on Sundays and then upload the video at a very inopportune time on Monday. So, I'm not gonna lie, this is my second time recording this Small Talk Sunday, because the last time I was just like fumbling all over the place. Like, I had no direction. Still don't have a direction, but I have something, I roughly have an idea of what I want to say, considering the last take I did. But anyways, first and foremost, yes, I did not get the video done in time. It's rendered though. It is fully rendered right now, and I'm going through a review process, make sure everything's like nice and the way how I wanted it to be. And I didn't screw anything up near the end of the whole editing process, because I do a weird thing where I kind of scroll some clips through the entire video, and it kind of just clips into every single other clip. But yeah, it's going through a review process right now, making sure everything's doing all right, and then it should be up. And if it's all right, if it's good, it should be up by tomorrow. Tomorrow, probably 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So yeah, there's that. A little precaution: when I resume recording the MSQ and the footage that I used, I guess I had a different mic placement. And actually, now that I say that, I'm actually a little far from the mic this time around. I'm going to put it closer. But when I was recording it, I probably had it all down to my chest, probably like this. I'm currently talking with a mic to my chest. I don't know if that's affecting the sound quality, since I do post EQ anyway. But I was recording the MSQ with a mic placement in a different spot, and it kind of changed the timbre of my voice quite a lot more than I thought it would. But then again, it also could also have just been higher up instead, which is like at my forehead right now. I don't know what I did, but the sound quality reminds me of my first videos on YouTube. I'm actually going to put the mic back to my face. But yeah, the sound quality reminds me of my first videos on YouTube, which makes me cringe every time I hear it, because it's just like but there's a bit of that. I did try doing some post editing with the with some EQ adjustments for the audio in that, to make sure to try to get it as close to how it was sounding literally every other episode beforehand. But it's still not quite the same. So a little word of warning that oh yeah, before I even say that, yes, I do actually include the part of the MSQ where I am currently well, quote unquote currently at. I recorded that bit in this year, because everything you've seen, everything y'all have seen in the MSQ so far was recorded last year, and I finally do catch up to my current quote unquote progress, even though it's been like 2 weeks since then. Of where I was at the MSQ, and yeah, that's why there's a whole audio difference, because I tried a new microphone placement, because when I do usually record for the MSQ, my mic is like halfway in my face or something like that, so I can only see like a quarter of the screen. I'm always having to look up and around it to try to see some things. Sometimes it's even covering the chat box too. So yeah, I try to do a different mic placement to make it more, easier to deal with, but in the end, I don't like the sound quality that came out from it. So yeah, I'm gonna be going back to where I usually was. So there's that. Let's see, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, what else did I glean over in my last take? Oh yeah, I was mentioning how there was someone recommended that maybe if I'm running out of ideas, maybe I could just like look at some comments in the previous Small Talk Sunday and like read off like any questions that they had in a verbal sense. I could do a shout out take in that sense, and I kind of like that idea. I could go the whole Q&A type of approach for these Small Talk Sundays. I don't want to like do any like shout outs yet, just in case people aren't too comfortable with that, and if they're not comfortable with me like reading out their comments out loud, then I won't do the shout outs, but I can bring up the general ideas. But yeah, I guess I'll just let it be known for this Small Talk Sunday. That next Small Talk Sunday, I could go with the idea of just reading off some comments and just responding to that to the best of my ability, verbally, even though I feel like I answered questions more coherently and cohesively through text format, because when I start talking and babbling my mouth, my brain likes to forget the things that come out of my mouth, whereas if I type it out, my brain does retain what I typed in. It's a little weird. But we can go with that. We can go with that, and also not everyone really goes to the comments and reads all the text and sees all my replies anywhere. So I guess it could also be a good way to just kind of like get my overall answers out more known or pronounced, because I have in the past, especially during my WoW days, WoW YouTube days, I have replied to people in like mass paragraphs, like full essays. Like people would ask how they would do certain things as a demonology warlock, and I would just respond in full paragraphs and essays on how to do that. And I would quite often have to repeat that process because I don't like copy and pasting on comments. But yes, I would like almost repeatedly say the same thing, but in like a large like guide like format in text form. And then I eventually made the Demonology Warlock guide, and then that worked out for a while. But then the Battle for Azeroth came around, and I didn't make a guide for that because I was going through a lot of mental things, mental and probably emotional. It's most likely emotional things. Was not in the greatest state of mind for doing a whole lot of guides, and that actually I don't think I had a whole lot of activity in Battle for Azeroth in general. I think I did some videos for the beta, but then after the live drops, yeah, that's when life started taking turns. But you get the point. So to come back around for a second, yes, next Small Talk Sunday I might just do a little Q&A thing. So if you have any questions or anything that you'd like for me to like answer, and I'll see if I can answer it next time around, go ahead and just let me know in the comments. And if you don't want to be read out, you can just mention that and I won't read it out loud, and I'll just see if I can answer in text format instead. And if you would rather like not have like a name shadow or something like that, you can specify that as well. Because I'm not going to do that this time around, just in case people aren't comfortable with that idea. You could also just like leave a comment, you know, as usual, and I won't read it out next time around, so that you can, you know, just keep the whole comments in anonymity or just text format feel to it. I might just respond in text format there if I get around to it. That's a phrase I need to stop freaking leaning on. If I get around to it, when I get around to it. Because that's what's been keeping me back from doing so many things in life. When I get around to it. Oh, I got to cut that out of my life. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of the plan. Because I'm going to be quite frank, I don't know what to say today. So that is why I'm doing the second take. Because the first time was complete babbling around. And I was just tripping over all my words and just pretty much repeating I don't know what to say over and over and over and over. But yeah, essentially that's what it comes. That's what I got to say for today. I know it's not too long of a Small Talk Sunday this time around, but I genuinely am kind of running out of things to say. I could also do a like review type, like almost video review of my own videos and just talk about that. I don't know. I could do a different take, maybe do it pseudo live, where instead of you have like B-roll in the bag, I could just do like a quote unquote screen share type of approach, where I just go through like these past videos. I pull out the file and just show what I did with it. I could do that as well. That'd be kind of neat, I'd say. That'd be interesting, maybe. There could also be other takes that people will want me to talk about. Like, for instance, I keep talking about the PvP in this game, and I keep giving it a negative light. And that's mostly from a lot of stuff hasn't been directly done to me, but it's just I'm kind of just observing what other people do to others. Because I've been generally working my role decently enough to not be the target of a bunch of like vitriol or, you know, the ignore marker. So a bunch of this stuff hasn't directly happened to me, but I've just been witnessing it as a bystander happening to other people on my team in that same match. And, you know, I just sit by and observe, and I don't like some of the attitudes. With some PvP players I've noticed in my personal experience. But at the same time, I haven't had a whole lot of experience, and I realize that there are some good PvP players, because I've interacted with some people who are really supportive in the PvP community. Some people have been really great. I know, I'm doing like a mix of things, but from my experience, a majority of it has been that toxic side of it, where people are just ignoring marker, and if one death, I've had this one of the more recent ones I've had, which when I say recent, it's been like a month because I haven't been touching Feast in a while. One person died on our team within the first 10 seconds of the fight. And usually the first death that I see does happen within that first burst window, but it's just a matter of who reacts better. But there are other times where both sides can very consistently keep everyone up. But anyways, someone would die in like the first 10 to 20 seconds of the match, like way too early to really super decide as to how the whole fight's gonna go. And the healer just flat out stopped. Like, he didn't do anything. He just completely gave up, literally just ran into there, just didn't heal anyone, and just basically gave himself like a free kill. Like, he completely gave up within the first half minute of the match, and that annoyed me so much. I hate quitters. I hate quitters, people who quit like that. Even as hopeless as it may be, just keep on trying. And even though I myself will have that like quitting mentality, I won't stop playing. Instead, I would start dabbling with different tactics. Maybe I'll try doing more psychological plays, see if I can trick people out this way or that way. Maybe explore kiting avenues. Something. Do something instead of just like completely waste the probable 15 plus minutes you waited in the queue time just because it wasn't going perfectly the way you thought it was going to go. There's a whole thing that I've been seeing as well in the Feast mentality called Go Next or something, which is a really weird meme thing, and it's kind of dumb if you ask me. Even from a joking standpoint, it's just kind of dumb. But there's a whole Go Next mentality where they just like basically clock out and just essentially quit, but basically it means this match is done, it's over within the first minute or so, where they completely clock out and just do not believe it's going to be a victory at all, and they pretty much just prep themselves for the next 10 to 30 minutes of queue time. I don't like it at all. I understand the mentality, but I just don't like the promotion of it, because this is coming from someone who back during, what was it, Cataclysm, Wrath of the Lich King days? I don't know. I was doing some arenas. My friend as a Shadow Priest, he died in a 2 versus 2 match, and I was a Holy Paladin. I was going up against a Priest and a Warrior. Warrior was keeping Mortal Strike on me, which is a healing reduction, like 50% heal reduction. And the enemy Priest was doing Mana Burn, which burns the enemy player's mana. So I was like the entire time, but I would sit there for a literal 45 minutes of just healing myself at because apparently Holy Paladins could do it at the time. And I was just sitting there, literally one-handed healing it, not even cutting it. I was like being super dead stubborn about this, and I was just seeing if they could like kill me with like no mana left, and they just didn't. They just couldn't apparently, and eventually they just left. So I won that battle of attrition. I was like, yes! It took me 45 minutes of being like as stubborn as a mule, but I won. So I am very much that type of stubborn, hard-headed person where I will keep on going at it and keep fighting until like I physically like just cannot like keep going anymore, or I'm being rushed by external sources. But at that time, my day was free, so I literally could have done it all day. So yeah, when people quit in Feast, that like clashes hard with my bullheaded mentality of keep on going at it. And shoot, I even do that with the with PvP. Well, I used to before my friend had to do some IRL stuff. But I had a dueling buddy for a good while, and we would literally duel for hours on end. I'm talking about like 8 hours straight at the dueling pier, and it would just be me and them just constantly dueling over and over and over and over, trying again like new tactics over and over, trying to we call it like lab it up or something. Just we're in the lab basically. It's kind of like a term for the dueling pier where people try to experiment with their job, do stuff. But yeah, we both were like go hard at it, and I felt like I finally found a kindred spirit when it came to just duels. I was like, yes, someone who can duel as long as I am. And it was a moment where it was just like our battles will be legendary. But yeah, we went at it for a while, and it's good times. That's when my PvP craze was added to max, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of digging it. But life kind of happened, and they had to do some other things, and I'm also not able to do a whole lot of PvP because first and foremost, I'm also kind of straying from it. But secondly, I'm also being really occupied with editing stuff. So I'm not able to actually dive into that as much as I'd like. So most of my game time is me just not even playing the game. I'm just editing while standing at a gathering node. I've said that so many times at this point. You all understand that I'm not really playing the game a whole lot. I'm mostly editing before playing the game. And when I do play the game, it's usually Palace of the Dead stuff too, either a solo or duo with my friend. But yeah, that is my current Final Fantasy 14 experience. But hopefully I'm going to stop saying hopefully, because it's been like years that I've been saying hopefully these editing things will be faster. But I just got to do it. Instead of just hope and pray that it's going to be faster, I just got to do it. Just got to do it and just dive into it. Just freaking slam my face into it as hard as I can, beginning to end. And then it'll probably be done in time. But anyway, yeah, this Small Talk Sunday rant kind of went a lot further than I thought it'd be, but I do have a lot of things I do want to say about a lot of things, and PvP is my forte, and hearing that in the next expansion, Square Enix is wanting to start improving the PvP experience that does yield good things to me, because coming from WoW, PvP was my one and only jam. PvP was the only thing I did. Only thing. So going to Final Fantasy 14, seeing this PvP community being just absolute, it's a microbe in comparison in terms of size. It was a little disheartening, and it kind of like had me worried for how long I'd be able to play the game and still be engaged. Because raiding, not a whole lot of my thing. Like I do it mostly for the friend aspect, hanging out with people. But this time around, I probably do the raids or trials for the story aspects, if anything. So there's that, and also the fact that the harder versions have a lot more interesting mechanics and visuals. I'll probably want to go into that just for that. So that's probably something to look forward to, but that's in the distant future. For now, I got to get through the MSQ. But yeah, this Small Talk Sunday has been a lot longer than I thought it'd be, and yeah, if you have anything you want me to like say or mention in the next Small Talk Sunday, I'll probably go ahead and do that. And yeah, just let me know if you're all fine with that. If I can do like almost like shout out, question and answer type of things, I could do that next time around. So let's get a little more interactivity going on with these, because right now I feel really selfish uploading these videos. Like I really do. I feel really selfish uploading these videos, because this is just me talking about my stuff. It's just me about my certain scenarios, and I know I'm just enough to do it on the internet. Like it's baffling and flattering at the same time to see so many people still listening to these things, and I appreciate you all heavily for that. Thank you very much. Thank you. It does mean quite a lot to me, especially like psychologically. Thank you very much. But anyways, this recording is approaching 20 minutes now, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank you all very much for watching and or listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful life, and don't click links. Alright, take care folks.